Japan has long fascinated the world with its reputation for health, longevity, and the graceful way its elderly population ages. In regions like Okinawa, it's not uncommon to find men and women living well into their 90s or even past the age of 100, still independent, mentally sharp, and physically active. What makes this even more remarkable is that these individuals often don't rely on expensive supplements, advanced medical technology, or grueling workout routines. Instead, their strength and long life are credited largely to consistent daily habits rooted in simplicity, mindfulness, and movement. One of the most profound of these habits is a set of everyday physical movements that they practice without fail. These 6 movements are seamlessly woven into their lifestyle, not just as exercises, but as a way of living that supports both the body and the mind. To understand the secret behind their vitality, it's essential to consider the broader context of Japanese culture and philosophy. Unlike many Western societies that often associate aging with decline, dependency, and weakness, Japanese culture views aging as a natural and honorable stage of life. Elders are not pushed to the sidelines of society. Instead, they are respected, included, and encouraged to remain active. This positive social attitude plays a huge role in motivating the elderly to stay mobile and mentally engaged. From an early age, Japanese people are taught that the human body thrives when it is in motion. This teaching does not fade with age. It grows stronger. Whether you're a child or a centenarian, movement is viewed as essential to life. The traditional Japanese approach to daily movement is far from the high-intensity, sweat-drenched workouts that are commonly promoted in Western fitness culture. Rather, it's about moderation, consistency, and integrating movement into daily life in a natural and sustainable way. Instead of setting aside separate hours for exercise, Japanese elders incorporate physical activity into their routines. Walking to the market, cleaning the house, gardening, or doing stretching movements upon waking. This active lifestyle is not something they force themselves into. It is simply how they live. Their homes are often designed to encourage movement. Low tables, floor seating, and sleeping mats that require bending, squatting, and standing. These regular, functional movements keep their muscles, joints, and cardiovascular systems well-tuned. Another important factor contributing to the success of these daily movements is the cultural emphasis on mindfulness and intention. In Japan, physical activity is often paired with mental awareness. This is reflected in traditional practices such as tea ceremonies, martial arts, and even calligraphy, all of which demand focused, graceful, and deliberate movement. For Japanese elders, every step they take and every stretch they perform is done with purpose. This mindful movement not only improves coordination and balance, but also reduces stress, sharpens the mind, and contributes to emotional stability. In fact, studies have shown that the brain benefits from slow, conscious movement as much as the body does. Historically, Japan's rural lifestyle also played a significant role in shaping these habits. Many older Japanese grew up working in rice fields, fishing villages, or small farming communities. These environments required physical labor, often involving bending, squatting, lifting, and walking long distances. Over the years, these activities became second nature. Even as modernization took over, the older generation maintained these practices in some form. For instance, rather than using a chair, many still sit on the floor, which requires more flexibility and effort to rise from. These functional, low-impact activities are now being recognized globally for their role in preserving mobility and reducing age-related deterioration. Another deeply rooted concept in Japanese society is ikigai, which loosely translates to reason for being or life purpose. Elders in Japan often continue to engage in social activities, hobbies, or light work well into their later years. They may tend to a garden, care for grandchildren, participate in community events, or simply walk daily to greet neighbors. This sense of purpose encourages them to remain physically and mentally active. When paired with daily movements and physical habits, ikigai creates a feedback loop that sustains health, happiness, and longevity. A body in motion supports a mind with purpose, and a purposeful mind keeps the body moving. In contrast, sedentary lifestyles common in many industrialized nations contribute significantly to early onset diseases and reduce mobility in old age. Sitting for long periods, lack of functional movement, and over-reliance on technology for daily tasks have created a generation that views aging with fear. In Japan, however, simplicity and discipline in movement are the tools used to combat the aging process. Movements like walking, stretching, sitting on the floor, and performing balance exercises are simple, require no equipment, and can be performed anywhere. Yet, when done consistently, they have a cumulative effect on health. These habits preserve muscle tone, improve circulation, enhance posture, and reduce the risk of falls, a major concern among the elderly. In recent years, scientists and health researchers around the world have begun studying these daily habits to unlock the mystery behind Japanese longevity. The results point again and again to the idea that consistent, moderate movement, not high-intensity training, is a key to staying healthy as we age. Movements that support mobility, flexibility, balance, and muscle endurance are far more sustainable in the long run than punishing workouts that often lead to burnout or injury. The 6 movements practiced by Japanese elders every day are a perfect example of this sustainable approach. They are light on the joints, calming to the nervous system, and incredibly effective in maintaining functional strength and vitality. To sum it up, the Japanese way of aging is a beautiful blend of tradition, culture, movement, and mindfulness. The 6 daily movements their elders perform are not just exercises. They are expressions of a lifestyle that respects the body and honors the aging process. These practices are not about looking younger, but about living better, staying mobile, and remaining independent for as long as possible. In a world increasingly dominated by sedentary behavior and stress, the Japanese model offers a simple yet profound reminder. Move your body with care and consistency, and it will serve you well for a lifetime. Among the 6 essential movements that Japanese elders perform every day, 2 of the most foundational are walking and stretching. These may appear to be simple activities, but their impact on long-term health, especially for aging individuals, is profound. What sets Japanese elders apart is not the intensity of their movements, but their consistency and mindful execution. While people in many parts of the world consider walking and stretching to be warm-ups or secondary exercises, Japanese elders treat them as primary practices that support their entire physical and mental well-being. Let's begin with walking. In Japan, walking is not just a form of transportation. It is a lifestyle. Most elders do not own cars, or, if they do, they avoid using them for short distances. Instead, they prefer to walk to local shops, parks, temples, or to visit friends. This habitual walking adds up over time. Studies have shown that Japanese elders average over 5,000 to 7,000 steps a day, far more than their counterparts in sedentary societies. But it's not just about the number of steps. It's how they walk. Japanese walking often includes navigating stairs, uneven surfaces, small streets, and nature paths. This kind of walking challenges balance, coordination, and spatial awareness, 3 abilities that typically decline with age but are preserved longer in active individuals. Walking also strengthens the cardiovascular system. Regular, low-intensity aerobic activity like walking improves heart function, lowers blood pressure, and boosts circulation. It keeps the metabolism active and reduces the risk of conditions like obesity, type 2 diabetes, and osteoporosis. For Japanese elders, daily walks are not rushed. They are often slow, rhythmic, and peaceful. Many elders treat walking as a time for quiet reflection or social interaction. They often walk in groups or pairs, engaging in light conversation while enjoying the fresh air. This combination of physical activity and social bonding has been linked to lower rates of depression and anxiety among the elderly in Japan. Moreover, walking improves cognitive health. Scientific research confirms that regular walking increases blood flow to the brain and stimulates the growth of new neural connections. In fact, walking for just 20 to 30 minutes a day has been associated with a reduced risk of dementia and Alzheimer's disease. Japanese elders often make walking part of their morning routine, setting a positive tone for the rest of the day. It refreshes their senses, wakes up the body, and allows time to mentally prepare for daily tasks. Now let's turn to the second key movement, stretching. Japanese elders are known for their incredible flexibility, even into their 80s and 90s. This isn't because they were born naturally flexible. It's because they maintain that flexibility through daily stretching. In Japan, stretching is more than a quick routine. It is a ritual that connects mind, body, and breath. Most elders begin their mornings with short stretching sequence that includes neck rolls, shoulder circles, arm raises, back bends, hamstring stretches, and ankle rotations. These movements are done slowly and with focus, often paired with deep breathing to enhance the oxygen flow throughout the body. Stretching provides a number of physical benefits that are essential for healthy aging. It increases the range of motion in joints, prevents stiffness, and reduces muscle tension. For elderly individuals whose muscles naturally lose elasticity with age, regular stretching helps prevent injuries, improves posture, and supports better balance. It also assists with circulation and lymphatic drainage, which in turn boosts the immune system. Japanese elders often stretch multiple times throughout the day, not just in the morning. They may do light stretches before and after meals, during breaks in housework, or before going to bed. These brief, mindful moments of movement help keep their bodies agile and pain-free. There's also a strong mental and emotional component to stretching in Japanese culture. The slow, deliberate movements help calm the nervous system, reduce stress, and promote mindfulness. In a society that values harmony and internal balance, stretching is seen as a way to restore the connection between mind and body. Many elders even combine stretching with elements of qigong or tai chi, incorporating graceful hand movements, controlled breathing, and meditative awareness into their practice. This fusion of physical and mental focus enhances clarity, emotional regulation, and resilience against life's challenges. It's also important to note the cultural support behind these activities. In many Japanese neighborhoods, it is common to see groups of seniors gathering in parks or community centers early in the morning to do synchronized stretching or light calisthenics. This practice, called Reigyo Taiso, radio exercises, has been part of Japanese culture for nearly a century. It is broadcast nationwide and involves a series of simple exercises done to music and guided instructions. The exercises last only a few minutes, but their impact is long-lasting. Elders who participate in Reigyo Taiso regularly report improved flexibility, stronger muscles, better energy levels, and deeper sleep. It also serves as a social connector. Elders feel part of a group, supported and valued. Walking and stretching are often overlooked in modern fitness trends that favor high-intensity interval training, gym workouts, or flashy fitness gadgets. However, the Japanese motto reminds us that simplicity and consistency often beat intensity. Walking doesn't require any equipment, just a pair of shoes and the willingness to step outside. Stretching doesn't demand a mat, a studio, or a class, just a few quiet minutes in gentle intention. The beauty of these practices lies in their accessibility. They are suitable for almost anyone, regardless of age or fitness level, and can be adapted to individual needs. In addition, walking and stretching work together in harmony. Walking helps warm up the muscles and joints, making stretching more effective. Meanwhile, stretching enhances the walking experience by reducing tightness and increasing stride efficiency. Together, they improve mobility, prevent falls, and enable elderly individuals to maintain independence in their daily lives. This independence is a critical aspect of well-being. Japanese elders who walk and stretch daily are more likely to cook for themselves, travel alone, engage in hobbies, and participate in community life well into their later years. In conclusion, walking and stretching are not just basic movements. They are essential foundations of healthy aging. In Japanese culture, they are elevated to the level of daily rituals, infused with mindfulness, community, and purpose. They offer a blueprint for how we can all age gracefully, stay strong, and remain connected to our bodies and minds. By embracing these simple yet powerful habits, we can reclaim our health, prevent many age-related conditions, and experience the vitality that Japanese elders demonstrate so beautifully. Among the daily physical practices that contribute to the exceptional health and mobility of Japanese elders, two movements stand out for their profound impact on strength, flexibility, and independence: bending down and sitting on and rising from the floor. While these may sound like simple, everyday actions, they're often overlooked or avoided entirely in many modern lifestyles, especially as people age. However, in Japan, these movements are deeply ingrained in daily life and play a central role in maintaining functionality and preventing age-related decline. Let's explore how and why these movements are so effective, and why you should consider integrating them into your daily routine as well. The third movement, bending, is naturally incorporated into many traditional Japanese activities. Whether it's picking up something from the floor, gardening, sweeping, placing items on a tatami mat, or participating in a tea ceremony, elders in Japan bend frequently throughout the day. The key difference, however, is how they bend. Rather than rounding the spine or leaning from the waist, they often bend by hinging at the hips and lowering their bodies through a deep squat or a partial knee bend, using leg strength instead of putting excessive strain on the lower back. This method of bending strengthens the quadriceps, glutes, and hamstrings, muscle groups essential for mobility and balance. When you bend correctly and regularly, it reinforces the stability of your joints and trains your body to move in alignment. Over time, this practice builds a foundation for functional strength, the kind of strength that helps you lift objects safely, recover from a trip, or carry groceries. Japanese elders don't treat bending as exercise. They view it as a natural and necessary part of life. This mindset allows them to maintain these movements without fear, which is in stark contrast to cultures where aging individuals are discouraged from bending or told to take it easy, leading to further weakness and dependency. Moreover, frequent bending improves hip mobility, which tends to deteriorate with age. Stiff hips can cause a domino effect of problems throughout the lower back and legs, including pain, instability, and even falls. By keeping the hip joints open and active through bending movements, Japanese elders maintain a more youthful posture and avoid the hunched-over gait often seen in aging populations elsewhere. Additionally, bending encourages blood flow and lymphatic drainage, aiding in detoxification and reducing inflammation throughout the body. It also activates the core muscles, supporting spinal health and abdominal strength. Now let's move on to the fourth movement, sitting down on the floor and getting up again. This practice is deeply embedded in Japanese culture due to traditional seating arrangements. In many Japanese homes, elders continue to eat meals, drink tea, read, or rest while sitting on tatami mats, cushions, or directly on the floor. This contrasts sharply with the Western norm of chairs and couches, which require far less physical effort to use. Getting down to and up on the floor is a full-body action that engages the legs, hips, back, and core. It demands balance, coordination, and strength, all of which are crucial for preserving independence in later life. Research shows that the ability to sit down and rise from the floor without using hands or support is directly correlated with longevity and reduced mortality risk. The logic is simple. If your body can still perform this movement with control and balance, your musculoskeletal and cardiovascular systems are likely in good working order. Japanese elders practice this movement many times each day, not as a workout, but simply as part of their lifestyle. Sitting cross-legged in seizo or gira posture, or kneeling requires flexibility in the ankles, knees, and hips. Rising from that position trains the same muscles needed to climb stairs, step over obstacles, or catch yourself if you stumble. This movement also enhances joint lubrication, particularly in the knees and hips. As we age, synovial fluid production naturally decreases, leading to stiffness. However, by moving joints through their full range of motion daily, as Japanese elders do with floor sitting, this decline can be slowed or even reversed. In addition, rising from the floor develops neuromuscular coordination, the ability of your brain and muscles to communicate effectively, which is key to fall prevention and quick reflexes. It's also worth considering the psychological and emotional aspects of these movements. The act of getting up from the floor instills a sense of self-reliance. Many elderly individuals in other countries fear falling because they aren't confident they can get up again. This fear leads to reduced movement, further muscle atrophy, and isolation. In contrast, Japanese elders feel empowered because they practice getting up multiple times a day. This independence supports not only physical health, but also self-esteem, confidence, and mental resilience. Of course, the ability to bend and sit on the floor doesn't happen overnight, especially if these movements have been absent from your life for years. That's why gradual practice is key. Japanese elders didn't suddenly start these habits at 70 or 80. They built them up over a lifetime. However, it's never too late to begin. With patience and consistent effort, anyone can regain the mobility necessary to bend safely and get up from the floor with confidence. Starting with supported squats, gentle hip openers, and low-seated stretching can pave the way toward more advanced movements over time. Modern science now echoes what Japanese tradition has taught for centuries. These natural movements, bending and sitting on the floor, activate large muscle groups, strengthen the spine, and maintain agility. They challenge the body in ways that modern furniture and sedentary habits simply do not. More importantly, they do so without the need for special equipment, gym memberships, or expensive programs. Just your body, gravity, and intention are enough. The global fitness industry has often overlooked the power of natural, functional movements in favor of machines, weights, and high-impact routines. But for longevity, the Japanese model stands as proof that low-intensity, high-frequency movements rooted in everyday tasks can be even more powerful. Bending and floor sitting don't just build the body. They preserve dignity, independence, and connection to daily life that many elders in other cultures have lost. In conclusion, the third and fourth movements, bending and getting up from the floor, are crucial tools for aging with strength and grace. They maintain the physical structure of the body, stimulate the internal systems, and create emotional empowerment. If you want to stay mobile, avoid injury, and maintain independence into your later years, learning to move like Japanese elders may be one of the smartest steps you can take. Start slowly, stay consistent, and let these timeless movements restore your strength, one bend and one rise at a time.